As yesterday we had started with the valuation models for equity securities, and under that we are currently doing the dividend discount models. Under the dividend discount models, we have done three models. First was when you knew that the holding period was definite and the holding period of share was 1 year. Second was when there were multiple holding periods for the equity share. Next case came in of the scenario where there is an infinite holding period. Okay, and under that we have done the valuation of securities with no growth in dividend, with constant growth in dividend, and the last case we took yesterday was equity share valuation when there is a varying growth rate of dividends. Okay, so we had practiced one question yesterday. There's another question on your screen right now. The shares, the company's earnings are expected to grow at variable growth rate. Okay, so if you have a look at the question, then the growth rate for first 4 years is 18%. Then for next 12 years is, sorry, for next 4 years is 12%. And thereafter the earnings are growing at 6% per annum forever. The most recent EPS announced by the company is 4 rupees and the dividend payout ratio is 50%. Okay. You have to calculate the intrinsic value of this share if the required rate of return is 15%. So before you start with the question, the dividend per share, okay, will be the most recent EPS was 4 and dividend payout ratio is 50%. So which means that the latest dividend or last year's dividend has been rupees 2, okay, which is 50 by 100 into 4. Okay, so this was a D0, and then after this you have D1, D2, D3 and D4. These dividends you will be calculating with a growth rate of 18%. Then after that, for the next 4 years, D5, D6, D7 and D8 are then at 12%, and after that it is 6% per annum forever. So step 1 of the question is that you calculate the value of these dividends and then you calculate their present value and sum them up. Okay, and present value will be calculated at the required rate of return. So if we start calculating the dividends, I will write the present value factor for 8 years here at 15%. You can by that time calculate the amount of dividends. Start solving. Okay, so I have given you the present value factor. Please calculate the amount of dividends. Okay, if anyone is having any question, you can unmute yourself and ask. Any question, anyone? Please put in the chat box what are the dividends coming. Or just put the answer for step 1, the sum total of present values. Then we can cross check the answer. Okay, bag is solved. I'll just check. Change 0.77. Rest of you also put in your answers in the chat box. It is 6%. If that's not legible after this, it is 6% forever. Yes, what about the rest of you? What is the answer you're getting for step 1? Yes, Shubham, are you solving the question? Shubham, not here. Avinash, Avinash is also not here. पार्थ आप क्वेश्चन कर रहे हो?
Yes, ma'am, I'm trying.
Okay. Okay, mic is not working. Then respond through chat. At least I should be sure that you are still in the class. प्रशांत 9.6 तो बेटा ठीक नहीं है. It is approximately 16.8, 16.77. That is the correct value. Prashant, you please check your calculations. Okay, so for step 1, the present value of, yes, Kabir, the present value of the dividends is 16.8 approximately. Now, the second step is that you calculate the value of the share at the end of last year of varying growth. इसका मतलब मैंने आपको बताया था कि आप उस ईयर पर कैलकुलेट करते हो प्राइस ऑफ शेयर, जिसके बाद फॉरएवर वाला ग्रोथ रेट आ जाता है। तो फॉरएवर वाला ग्रोथ रेट आपका 9th ईयर ऑनवर्ड आ रहा है। So you will be calculating the value of share at the end of 8th year. So it is only after the 8th year that the growth rate will continue forever. So we calculate the value of share at the end of 8th year. So which means you are calculating P8. I'll move to the next page. So step 2, you are calculating the value of P8, and in the formula this will be D9 AE minus G. Okay, value of the share at the end of 8th year will be the expected dividend at the end of 9th year divided by KE minus G. Now growth rate here is 6%. तो प्लीज ग्रो योर डिविडेंड। 8th ईयर के एंड पे जो डिविडेंड की वैल्यू आई थी उस पर 6% का ग्रोथ आप देखोगे। Let me check that. So what is the answer coming to the price of share? Okay, so the value of share is coming to 71.84. Yuvraj is getting. What are the others getting? I'll also solve, then we'll be able to cross check. Yes, this is the right answer, 71.84. So then you calculate the present value of this price. This value was 0.327. Okay, so this comes down to 23.49. Then here you are adding this value. Okay, so all of you please check the solution is there on your screen. So you're getting approximately 40.29, 40.26, both are correct. There might be some difference in the rounding of decimal places, but these are the four steps in which you solve when you have a variable growth rate. Please complete, take a minute, complete the question, and then we'll proceed. Okay, yes. Is everyone getting this answer? The ones who are solving. Okay, so Rajkumar, in step 4 equation will be step 1 plus step 2. Okay, thank you. It's step 1 plus step 3. Thank you, Rajkumar. Now we move to the last case under the dividend discount model. The valuation of shares which are currently not paying dividend. Not paying dividend currently. Okay, so let's understand the concept with an example. Say there is an equity share, a company having an equity share which is not paying any dividend for 3 years. So no dividend for 3 years. Thereafter, it will be paying dividend. After this, dividend of rupees 2, which will be growing at 10% forever. Okay, and the required rate of return is 15%. So the company is currently not paying dividends. After 3 years, the company will start paying dividend of rupees 2 per share, which will grow at 10% forever. The required rate of return is 15%, and you have to find out the value of the share. So सिंपली जो अभी आपने क्वेश्चन जैसे सॉल्व करा है वेरिंग ग्रोथ का, उसी तरीके से आप यहाँ पर देख रहे हो दैट द ग्रोथ रेट इन डिविडेंड्स विल स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द थर्ड ईयर, from the end of the third year. So when we solve such questions, step 1 is you calculate the price of the share at the end of third year. Okay, that is after this year the growth rate will continue forever. तो P3 कैलकुलेट करोगे तो यहाँ पर D4 लोगे, KE माइनस G, सेम फॉर्मूला। D4 आपका 2 से शुरू हो रहा है और उसके बाद 10% की ग्रोथ है, तो 0.15 माइनस 0.10, तो 2 डिवाइडेड बाय 0.05, you get the value of share at the end of third year as ₹40। बट आपको जो वैल्यू चाहिए शेयर की वो आज 0 पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पर चाहिए, इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू एट 0 पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम। तो यू विल कैलकुलेट द प्रेजेंट वैल्यू ऑफ ₹40। तो 40 into PVF, 15% for 3 years, okay, which is 0.658, 40 into 0.658, and you will get your answer as a 26.32. Okay, so this is how we solve the question when we are having a case where currently there are no dividends, but in the future there will be dividend stream which will continue to grow forever. I hope this is clear. This was similar to the second and third step which you were solving in the previous case. Okay, that you calculate the value of share at the end of the varying growth rate। यहाँ पर आप उस ईयर पर कैलकुलेट कर रहे हो जिसके बाद डिविडेंड स्ट्रीम फॉर एवर कंटिन्यू करेगी, और फिर उसको डिस्काउंट करके 0 पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पर ला रहे हो। Okay, so these were the scenarios under the dividend growth model. Now we come to the second case or solution or valuation of securities using the earnings model. So valuation of equity shares, valuation using the earnings of the company. Okay, under this there are two very popular models which you people have already done. I am just writing them down and you'll be able to recall. So one was your Gordon model, and the Walter model. कहाँ पर करा था हमने ये मॉडल्स, एनीवन? कैन यू रिकॉल which unit in corporate finance? यूनिट 4, क्या नाम था यूनिट 4 का? It was the unit on dividend decision. Yes, absolutely right. So this was under the dividend decision and we were calculating the relevance of dividend decision for valuation of equity shares, and we were using the earning per share. Okay, so I'm just writing the formula. Okay, so please have a look at the formula, then I'll explain. We'll solve a question on this. So under the Gordon and Walter model, these were both dividend relevance models. Okay, that dividend decision of the company has an impact on the value of equity share. Under these models, there was a common observation that the companies which are earning well on the are the reinvested earnings or retained earnings. अगर आपका return on investment cost of equity से ज़्यादा है, then that company should retain more and distribute less. Okay, I will write down the cases. R stands for the return which the company is earning on the reinvestment made. Okay, जिसको आप ROI भी बोलते हो, जो हम कॉमन टर्म में यूज करते हैं, जो भी कंपनी इन्वेस्टमेंट कर रही है उस पर कितना रिटर्न मिल रहा है. तो दिस इज रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट. KE was the cost of equity or the cost of capital, assuming that you have a all equity firm, 100% equity firm. EPS 1 you understand is the earning per share at the end of year 1. B was the retention ratio. रिटेंशन रेशियो क्या होती है कि कितना अर्निंग्स का परसेंटेज कंपनी रिटेन कर रही है. तो अगर डिविडेंड पे आउट रेशियो 40% है तो रिटेंशन रेशियो आपकी 60% हो जाती है. एंड देन दिस टर्म BR is nothing but the growth rate of the earnings. Okay, so under the Gordon model and the Walter model, we had three cases. Case 1 was when the company is earning more and the cost of equity is less. Second was R is equal to KE, and third scenario was when R is less than KE. Okay. तो हम इसमें ये बोलते हैं that if the company is retaining the earnings right now, then the company should give a higher return to the equity shareholder in the future. That is, the equity shareholders will forego their current dividend in expectation of a higher dividend, higher earning in the future. So for companies which are having a return on investment which is more than the cost of equity, it is best to pay less of dividend and retain more. Okay, RE is retained earnings, and herein you find that the scenario where the dividend payout ratio is 0%, that will give you maximum value of the share. In case where the return on investment, that is what the company is earning and what the shareholder will earn, cost of equity, both are same, then any dividend payout ratio, the company is indifferent, the shareholders are indifferent, they will get the same value of share. And the last case is the case of a declining firm. First case is a growth firm, second is a normal firm, and third is a declining firm. One which is not able to get a good return on investment, or the return on investment is lower than the cost of equity, then the company should pay more in the form of dividend and retain less. Okay, because it's not able to get a decent rate of return on the reinvestment made. Okay. So in the Walter model also, all the three cases are applicable. D is the dividend, R return on investment, E is the earning per share. Okay, I hope you remember Gordon model में हमने ये भी करा था that a bird in hand is better than two in bush. So because you are foregoing something which is a certain earning. So if the company is retaining the earnings, it should pay out more value in the future to the shareholders. Okay, so under the earnings model, these are the first two models which we are doing. One is the Gordon model and the second is the Walter model. I hope you people have noted down the formula, as we'll move to one last question. Okay, on the Walter model, we'll take up one question. Here. Okay, a company has an EPS of 10 rupees. Cost of equity आपका 10% है. Okay, EPS is 10 rupees. Cost of equity 10%. और आपको तीन केसेस दिए हुए हैं रिटर्न के at 8%, at 10% and 15%, and your R is 8, 10 or 15, and the dividend payout ratio is 0%, 40%, 80% and 100%. ऐसे क्वेश्चंस हमने करे थे यूनिट 4 में भी. So it's just a recap. You have 3 into 4, 12 cases. You will put the formula 12 times and you will get the answer. I am writing the formula again here. Okay, I'll solve one part and then you can complete this table. Okay, I'm solving here. So for 40%, okay, now please complete this question. One part I have solved. And put your answers in the chat box. Any doubt, any question, please ask. Yes, Mudit, are you solving the question? Mudit, Bhavya, any problem? Little why? Solve the question, everything is there. Okay, solving. Please take 5 minutes. There are 12 cases. Please solve. फिर do one thing, अविनाश एक ही बारी आप अच्छा आप मुझे फर्स्ट वाला ही बता रहे हो 96 just check the answer. Yes, it is correct. This one is 96. This one is 88. Yeah, I'm putting all the answers. You can check and solving. Please check for all the cases. Okay, so rest of you also complete. And you can see in the solution box also, when R is less than KE, it is better to distribute more. Okay, you're getting the highest value of the share when there is a 100% dividend payout ratio, when R is equal to KE, that is a normal firm, you're getting the same price of the share irrespective of the dividend payout ratio. And for a growth firm where R is greater than KE, it is best to retain more and to distribute less, because with 0% dividend payout ratio, you are getting the maximum value for the share. Okay, so I hope this is clear to everyone. Please complete this question and okay. So now you can exit from the class. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow.